All right, we are back. This is the RGTV show. I am your host, Jers, aka Life as I See It, sitting here with Rob Harrell. And we're just talking about, at this point, real life situations and real life, everyday life, I should say. And just a little bit off camera, we were talking about, I know everybody knows, Ray Rice for like the past month, really for the past few months, has been in the news with this domestic violence case. And my question to you is, as a celebrity, as a public figure, as somebody who's in the limelight, what is your take on their responsibility as, those public figures? Are you one of those people who says, well, just because they're rich and they make a lot of money, it doesn't mean they necessarily have to be a role model? Or, do you think otherwise? What's your take on celebrities and their position as far as, how they go about their daily life? Or routine, rather.
The role model thing is kind of an easy escape for people. Your role model should be your parent. You know what I'm saying? My father was my role model. I didn't have to look to a whole bunch of other people. I had Muhammad Ali as a role model, but other people were just people. You know what I'm saying? So I think we put too much emphasis on looking towards other people as role models because people aren't doing what's right in their own home. I want my kids to look at me as their role model. I don't want them to have to look at Nicki Minaj and all these people and say they don't have a responsibility to do something for my kids. They're human. You know what I'm saying? Ray Rice is a young dude. He did something wrong. It was wrong what he did. He should have been able to just, you know what I'm saying? I understand the situation and you can be aggravated and somebody's pushing you to your limit. I've been there before. You know what I'm saying? And I understand, but the way he went about it was totally wrong. You know what I'm saying? Now, saying that, he has a lot of money and people say, well, you got all this money and you have this responsibility, but money doesn't change who you are as a person.
Right.
If you have a temper, you have a temper. I mean, that's just...
And I kind of want to piggyback off of that, but I also add something to that. You're right. You are who you are. You are who you are now. It's different from being, saying you are who you are for someone who's, say, maybe a high school athlete and maybe plays basketball and, he's, let's say, 19 years old. He gets drafted to the NBA. Mm-hmm. It's different, speaking about someone who's 19, 20 years old with a $45, $50 million contract, mm-hmm. Because how much preparation could they really have had for that type of lifestyle, But now we say someone, and again, I'm not pointing fingers, I'm not judging, I'm just stating what happened, but, we're talking about someone who's 27 and Ray Rice, who, did something, who, like you said, it was wrong, and people are human and people do make mistakes, but he did that, and now do we say that he should have maybe known better because he's a little older and he's been in the league a few years and he's been in that light, a little longer, or do we just say, hey, everybody's human, everybody's entitled to make mistakes, what do you, I just want to get your take on the perception, because see, it seems to me the perception is, first of all, you should never hit a woman, obviously. That's rule number one. I mean, you learn that when you're a little boy, don't hit girls. So I don't condone domestic violence whatsoever. But, that was the first mistake. But some people were out here saying, well, he should have known better. He was in the casino. He should have knew that it was cameras in the elevator. Mm-hmm. So, what is your take? Do you think he should have known better, or, what do you think?
He should have known better. And also, there's a certain way to go about things. He didn't have to punch her out like that. So that was another thing. But you don't know how drunk he was, how drunk they were. She looked like she was attacking him first and spit on him or whatever. And not saying that he was right for hitting her like that because of that. You know, he should have backed off or grabbed her and held her and made sure she couldn't do whatever.
I think the general consensus, and I think it's, I don't know if it's because he is a football player. It's probably because he is a football player. Most people are saying, look, you know, you play football, you're a running back, you're super strong, you should have been able to control her and contain her. But again, you know, these are, at the end of the day, these are people's private relationships, and we don't know what happened. I'm not saying it was right, but we don't know the situation of what happened. We don't know people's upbringing. We don't know, you know, what type of people they are. You know, which goes back to what I was already saying about, you know, being a role model. I mean, my personal opinion is you are responsible, at least me, I'm an artist, right? I make music. So I do feel like I am responsible for whatever it is, like, that I do. Like, so that being the case, I'm gonna make sure everything I do is 100% authentic and 100%, you know, it at least me and with good intentions, because you know that it does affect other people. That's what music does to people. So that's my take. That may not be your take or the next person's take. So, you know, to each his own. I just wanted to kind of get, you know, your feedback on that.
I do also think too, that to cut you off, but the media played a big part in this whole thing.
Absolutely, without question.
The whole thing about part of it coming out and the other part not coming out, you know, putting the other part out after all the court case and everything was over. He admitted in court that he hit her. So they already knew what happened, and they knew she was knocked out. It's just the media wanting to manipulate you and throw the video out there to give you the visual after he already admitted to what he did. So there's a lot of things behind this.
And, you know, not to cut you off, yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of things behind this, and let's look at the outlet that leaked it. We're talking about TMZ.
Mm-hmm.
TMZ is infamous for doing just that, exposing the dirt, you know, whatever footage they can find, they're gonna have it because they're gonna be there because they know you're there, and that's their job. That's how they make money. They make millions of dollars. Been doing it for years. They're not going out of business no time soon. So I agree that not only did the media play a big part in it, but it is something else behind it. I mean, who knows, you know, what that something else is? But at the end of the day, you know, I just feel like, you know, what's going on with, you know, or at least a few weeks ago with the Ray Rice thing, to even, you know, what's going on overseas with, you know, this ISIS thing, and, you know, what's going on with government issues, what happened, you know, a month or so or, you know, ago with Mike Brown, and even a few weeks before that, the Eric Garner situation. I mean, it's craziness all around us. It's craziness all around us. It doesn't matter if it's entertainment. It doesn't matter if you're just a city young high school girl who's walking home and just get hit by a stray bullet. You know, it's crazy, it's violent. I think ultimately, like you said, it starts in the home with good guidance. And with good guidance doesn't mean you're gonna make all the right decisions, but it should instill some of those qualities in you to know to make the right decisions, you know, when you in those times. Because, you know, making the wrong decision or, you know, to do XYZ can be the difference between, you know, good and bad, life or death. And it's just that serious in today's day and age. You know, Rob Harrell, you know, I told you, I mean, very, very deep brother, like you said. We can do this all day because it's just so much to talk about. But I definitely appreciate you for coming.
Supporters of tonight's vote, they're hoping it will free up financial aid to pay for additional police officers and social programs in Paterson. But Governor Christie says Paterson, they're not getting more money from the state until the city is managed far better. The city of Paterson currently receives $21 million from the state. The city saw more than 100 shootings last year.
I'll tell you that for a fact. The younger generation, they from the era just, if I can't beat him, I'm gonna blow his face off.
It's just It's just painful. I just want my son back.
Give me one block in Patterson that becomes the model block, where every kid on that block graduated from high school, went on to become productive citizens in society and gave back to their community. Show me one block in Patterson that has that, and then we duplicate that block.
Well, how I feel about the violence in Patterson, I feel like the violence in Patterson ain't gonna change. The system is built on violence. The inner city is built on violence. They want us to kill each other. They want us to destroy each other so that we can't get out of this struggle that we are put in by these people that put us in this situation.
If you grow up with nothing, at the end of the day, you're gonna try to make something out of that nothing you ain't had.
The messages that are coming to our kids from all these different segments of society is all different. And so all the kids are getting is mixed messages. And so they're at the point now, well, which one do they follow? Which message do they take?
Got my guns and magazines in the red one from my beat. Nothing is quite as it seems. Fuck with me and you gon' see. Shoot your gun now, make you a believer. Now you better pray for something more.
Politicians and others have sold their job, sold the position for union votes or blocks of votes by saying, I'm going to give you this, I'm going to give you that.
That's all we got, man. When you put into a little place like this, in a 7 square mile, it's your city, and it's thousands of residents, you know what I mean? It's overcrowded, man. People gonna have to get eliminated for you to feel like you got room.
Nigga might run down trying to rob me. You think I'm like, nigga, rob me? Hell no, I'm gonna blast this nigga face off.
You should